Hey guys, welcome back to Financial Life Hacks, the channel that helps you reach your financial goals through lifestyle tips and tricks. I made videos on credit rating in my last couple of videos, and you can actually take a look at those right here if you haven't already done so. But it's only fitting for me to move on to credit cards now. Rather than making a video of recommendations of all the best credit cards, I decided to put together a little beginner's guide to show people who are new to credit cards on how to get started and what cards are best to upgrade to. This video is broken down into 3 parts, where I would begin with telling you how you should go about getting your first credit card. Then I'll move on to how you'll get your second credit card, because it is quite useful for you to have a couple of credit cards that fulfill a specific role. And lastly, when you should upgrade your credit card to one of the premium ones where you have to pay an annual fee. So your first credit card. Well, what I recommend is as soon as you turn 19 or at your earliest convenience, just go into your most local bank, the bank that you primarily bank with, and open their most basic credit card. I recommend that everybody starts with the credit card as soon as they can. Typically the age is 19. So you can start building your credit rating so that you can start taking advantage of some of the better cards later on. It doesn't really matter which card you get, as most of the free cards usually have a 1% cash value for different things, such as redeeming for movies or air miles, travel, or even a straight out cashback. But the most important thing is to get a card to start building your credit as soon as possible so that you can start upgrading the cards to other better cards. The banks will usually start you off with a $500 or $1,000 credit limit, and I encourage you to slowly increase this limit with pre-approved credit card limit increases. I went into details about this in my previous video, and you should click on the top right corner here to watch that to learn how to improve your pre-authorized credit limits and why it's good. After you use your credit card for a year or two, you should start looking to get a second or even a third credit card in order to maximize your value on the overall system. Doing so will also greatly improve your credit rating, so it's very beneficial. As discussed in the previous videos, you only really want to apply for a new credit card if they have a specific reward that is better than your primary card for very specific products that you do buy a lot of. The key here is to go through all your expenses and take note of what type of spending you do. Then you can go to see if there's a card that you would benefit greatly from these types of spendings. A second card I would recommend for mostly everyone is the international credit card. There are some cards that waive foreign exchange fees, which is generally around 2.5%. This card is fulfilling a niche expense for when you travel or purchase items internationally. Even if you're traveling once a year and spend roughly around, let's say $4,000 in another country, yeah, that sounds about right, then you're saving around $100. Actually, you're saving exactly $100 just simply from the 2.5% foreign exchange fee that is waived. Which is why it makes having a second or third niche credit card so valuable, because you can actually maximize your rewards. The Rogers MasterCard and the Home Trust Visa card are examples of such cards. There are many things to consider when getting a second Visa card, but there are 2 key things that I kind of look into. First of all, what's their core value? Like what kind of percentage cashback you're getting back and what kind of rewards are you getting back? And second of all, what annual fee does it have, or does it have any annual fees at all? In this case, both of these cards have no annual fees, which is why it makes these cards so great. The Rogers card offers 4% cash back on foreign exchange currencies. This does not waive the 2.5% exchange fee, so the cash back is actually around 1.5% on international purchases, which is not bad at all. But the actual value that you're getting from this card is still 4%, because if you use any other cards to make the purchase while you're traveling, they would charge you a 2.5%. So rather than going to a net loss of 2.5%, you're actually gaining 1.5% instead. The Home Trust Visa card, on the other hand, waives their 2.5% completely, so international purchases are free. They, however, don't give you any cash back for international purchases. They do give 1% cash back on any other purchases, but this makes the Rogers card actually the superior international travel card. However, not everyone can satisfy the income requirement of $80,000 that is required on the Rogers card, which is why I provided the second option of the Home Trust Visa card. I get the second card and I make all of my international purchases or travel purchases with this card. There are also very many store-specific credit cards that offer great rewards that you may want to look into if you do happen to shop at these stores. Some include the Triangle, which is for Canadian Tire, or even the Bay cards, but they're all over the place. Just take a look at them. But what this all boils down to is that the second and third credit card you won't be using for most of your purchases, and you will only be using for specific purchases, and you'll get the maximum value from those purchases. So what is very important for these cards is that it does not have an annual fee. The third step when you get to this point is to upgrade your card to a premium credit card. Once your primary credit card reaches $5,000, you can start looking to upgrade it for better perks. To get the credit card limit of $5,000 would take anywhere between 1 to 3 years depending how much you use your credit card. The best credit cards in Canada generally have a $120 annual fee attached to it. So you will only get the full value from this card if you use it a lot. As a general rule of thumb, you should not be upgrading your credit card unless you spend more than $1,000 per month on it. Any less, then you should just stick to the free credit cards. I recommend that you upgrade the first credit card you got from your local bank to one of these premium cards. All 5 major banks of Canada have at least 2 premium cards for you to choose from. These premium cards also come with a welcome bonus that's worth anywhere from $75 to $150 in value. And the first year is typically waived as well too. The first year's annual fees. For the second year of your premium credit card, there is actually a little hack you can do to get the $120 annual fee waived. All of the major banks have a premium checking account that usually requires a minimum balance of around $5,000. If you don't maintain a $5,000, you will incur a monthly fee ranging from $15 to $30 per month. In addition to several perks you get from this premium account, you can also get your annual credit card fee waived if you have this premium account. A way to bypass and get all of this for free is to simply deposit $5,000 to your checking account and upgrade it for that month that you would be charged the $120. By doing so, you would get a rebate for the $120 for free, and on the second or third month, you can then downgrade your checking account after you get the rebate. Most of these $120 credit cards actually have very similar perks. The one that I use is the TD Aeroplan card, and this card has pretty great benefits if you travel around in North America often. And when I say often, I just mean if you travel maybe even once a year, anywhere within North America. I usually use the points to travel from Vancouver to Toronto, but the value of each air miles depends largely on what type of flights you use the points to travel for, and really just how much you're willing to shop around for and how flexible your dates are. For the average consumer, I would say the value of each air mile is roughly around 2 to 2.5 cents per mile. Since you earn 1.5 mile per dollar on groceries, you're getting around 3 to 3.75% value in flights for that. For every other purchase, you'd be getting around 2 to 2.5%. This card also has other travel perks, including medical travel insurance for 21 days for every trip that you go on, which is pretty significant. This is an example of just one of the possible premium cards you can get, and there are many to choose from between the 5 major banks. And the key thing is that they all offer pretty good and similar returns. These videos take an incredibly long time to make, so if you found any of this information useful, please hit that subscribe button. I also upload videos every Friday, so to ensure that you don't miss any of them, hit that bell notification as well too. But that wraps it up for today's video. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next week on the next Financial Life Hacks.